Well, we're joined by a very special guest, someone who needs very little introduction, ESPN Chair Jimmy Pitaro. Jimmy, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start with the direct-to-consumer product that has been really the talk of a lot of the media industry. Is that still on pace for a launch in the fall, and what are some of the bigger features that fans are going to get from that?
Yes, we're on schedule to launch this fall. I think it's helpful to think about it in two ways. First off, we will be making all of our channels, all of our content available direct-to-consumer for the first time, and that includes ESPN Plus, so ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN News, EU, SEC Network, ACC Network, ESPN Plus. You'll be able to buy it all through ESPN directly. Part two is a significantly enhanced ESPN app. So we are not launching a new app. We are very happy with the current app and all of the personalization features. That's the foundation. But we're building off of that foundation, and we'll launch with enhancements like more fantasy integration, more betting integration, more commerce integration, stats integration. If you're a subscriber to ESPN, whether directly or through a cable or satellite affiliate, you will have access to all of that enhanced functionality in addition to a personalized sports center, which we're really excited about. Some other features like multi-screen across devices. Today, multi-screen for the ESPN experience is only available through Apple TV or an Apple TV device, but it'll be available across devices. I can go on and on here, but so many enhancements to the app. So again, I think it's helpful to think about direct-to-consumer, making our channels available, our networks are available for the first time directly through ESPN, and a significantly enhanced app.
I'm looking forward to that multi-screen.
A lot of people probably, yeah.
Thank you.
So tangentially related to DTC, having a loyal and young audience is going to be important for launch. That's something that UFC has shown it can bring to ESPN Plus.
Yes.
And we know the exclusive negotiating window ends in the coming days. Does the fact that the deal isn't going to be reached before then mean that you guys are not keeping UFC?
No, it does not mean that. UFC has been really good to ESPN. We launched ESPN Plus in April of 2018, and really the UFC property was the marquee property for ESPN Plus at launch, and fast forward to today, and it still is the marquee property for ESPN Plus. We also at the same time believe that we have been a great partner to the UFC in terms of our promotion, in terms of our commitment to the sport of mixed martial arts, and specifically the UFC across our studio programming, across .com, the ESPN app. And I think if Dana White or Mark Shapiro were sitting here right now, they would echo that. They would tell you that they very much appreciate all of the support and promotion and commitment that ESPN has made to the UFC. But yes, the exclusive negotiating window is expiring imminently, but I wouldn't read too much into that. Like, we're not hyper-focused on that window. We know that there's going to be interest in the UFC, and that's great for the sport. It's great for them. But we remain interested in trying to figure something out with those guys.
Jimmy, we've written a lot about and talked about, Mollie and I, a lot about the opt-out with Major League Baseball. But there's a lot of history there, a lot of history between ESPN and Major League Baseball. You're a well-known Major League Baseball fan of the Yankees. What's a potential path forward for Major League Baseball and ESPN to stay together?
You're right, multi-decade relationship. We take a lot of pride in our support of the sport, our promotion of the sport across our studio programming, across our production in terms of our innovation, our alternative broadcasts, providing access to players, putting mics on players, really innovating in partnership with the league and the players. We feel great about how we've shown up for the sport. I have to make very tough decisions all the time in my job. I have to be fiscally responsible and disciplined. There was an opt-out in our contract, and based on how we looked at performance internally, unemotionally, we had to make a decision to exercise that opt-out. That does not mean that we are not interested in remaining in business with Major League Baseball. I don't know where they are at this point. But as I've said repeatedly, if they do reach out and they're interested in talking, we're, of course, going to listen. I've been consistent that we are still interested in national games. We're interested in other components of our package. We're interested in postseason. But we also are very, very interested in local, whether that's in market or out of market. We're very interested in that space. And if they're interested in being creative with us and working out some kind of a new construct, we are as well.
So that includes MLB.TV, an interest there potentially.
I would say everything is on the table there.
All right, so we got some serious evidence of the Caitlin Clark effect with the drop for this year's NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. So that was down 54% year over year. It was also a blowout. We've talked about that.
Yes.
But is the audience we saw for UConn, South Carolina, the new norm for this event? And do you think it might have been higher if someone like Juju Watkins was in the championship?
You're right in that the score, I think, played a material part in the rating. I was still very pleased with the rating. Yes, we were down year over year. We were down from 2 years ago, but we were up significantly from 3 years ago. And it was our third highest performing championship game ever. So from my perspective, a huge net positive. Of course, we wanted to be up, but we went into this season knowing with certainty that we were going to be down and be down significantly for the championship game and for the Final Four. No one is losing any sleep over that. We remain incredibly bullish on women's sports in general and specifically the women's basketball tournament. I am optimistic about next season. You mentioned Juju. Hopefully she's able to return. I know that's a serious injury. Hopefully she's able to return at some point next season. I don't know, but there are huge stars returning next season. And we're committed. We've been committed, as you know, to this sport, to women's sports in general, and specifically to women's college basketball. We've been committed for decades. It's so amazing to see the positive momentum that is taking place in the industry right now, but you can expect our commitment to continue to be there and actually to grow.
Jim, we'll get you out here on this. ABC ESPN hasn't had a Super Bowl since the 2005-2006 season. That was a big thing that you all wanted in those last media rights negotiations. Super Bowl 61 after the 26-27 season, or at the end of that season, excuse me. Is that going to be the biggest event ESPN has ever done?
Yes. Hard stop, without any hesitation. This is not just an ESPN priority. This is a Walt Disney Company priority. You can expect to see massive synergy, attention, focus from every department, every segment at the Walt Disney Company. We have dedicated folks on the ESPN side. Andy Tennant was just promoted to lead the charge for ESPN. There are other executives at the Walt Disney Company that are really dedicating the majority of their focus to making, our first Super Bowl at ESPN successful. And we are optimistic here. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And this Super Bowl will be in Los Angeles. The Walt Disney Company is headquartered in Los Angeles. So many of our clients are out there, our executives, our other partners. We love the fact that this is at SoFi. If you think about it, like with our parks exposure out there, like there's so many opportunities to blow this out. And we're grateful to the league for giving us the opportunity to promote, produce, and offer this game. And I think it's going to be great.
Well, Jimmy, we could probably do this for a few more hours, just given everything that ESPN is into in the sports business. But we appreciate you taking the time to chat with SBJ.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Okay.